an epidemic of teenagers that are coming to harm. They're being exploited, they're being targeted by gangs and those that wish to involve them in violence. And because of that, and because we aren't protecting them at the earlier stages, more and more teenagers have been coming into care. We've seen one of the biggest increase in teenagers coming into care that we've ever had. And almost a quarter of all children in care are now 16 and 17-year-olds. These teenagers coming in, they've often been living very vulnerable lives. They've been involved in violence. They've been targeted and exploited. They need a new kind of care.
The system, some would argue, isn't really doing anything for those young children it's been built for. I mean, we've seen the recent murders of Arthur Labinger Hughes and Star Hobson, and it seems that the same statements keep being made over and over again, that lessons need to be learned. When are those lessons going to be learnt?
Well, there is a review of children's social care going on at the moment, something that I pushed for some time. So there's an opportunity here to make improvements, and I really want teenagers to be high on that list. But there are some chronic themes going through the social care system at the moment. The lack of ability to identify early, the lack of data sharing, the lack of information, the lack of coordination with other agencies. And they're also stretched at the seams in terms of funding. The average cost of a place for a teenager at the moment is an eye-watering £4,000 a week, £200,000 plus a year. And there's many that will go up to £10,000 plus pounds a week. Now, that's a child who's fallen into crisis, have very complex needs, that has escalating needs. Think what we could do with that funding if used earlier to protect those children from harm, to stop them falling into crisis, and also many more too. One of the things that we're really keen to look at is how we can develop new foster care models that actually could be really much better served for young people. Youth workers, for instance, if we could attract youth workers, train them up to be foster carers, they understand young people, they'll be able to build that relationship. That would cost a fraction of what we're now seeing.